Are you a first-time mom who's trying to get through that wretched first trimester? If so, this video is for you. I've compiled a list of the must-haves to get through that first trimester. I'm currently 22 weeks pregnant and luckily out of that terrible time. The first trimester was awful for me. I spent the whole time trying to look through forums and talking to people and trying to get advice on how to get through it because I just felt terrible. I had nausea, headache, extreme exhaustion. Like I felt like I couldn't do anything. I didn't feel like myself at all through that first trimester. Well, I wanted to compile a list that should help you to get through that first trimester. The first thing that you want to make sure that you have in your first trimester is a good prenatal. I'm using the REMEDIATE prenatal, and I'll attach a picture right here. The prenatal, you want to make sure that it has everything that your growing baby needs: DHA, choline, iron, and you just want to make sure that you're reading all the labels and getting the best one possible. This one is on Amazon, so it's really easily accessible. I actually started taking a prenatal before I got pregnant while we were still trying, and that was extremely helpful. The next thing that is going to help you a little bit with your nausea is going to be a ginger lozenge. So I actually used the UpSpring stomach settle. Along with that, ginger tea, ginger ale, saltine crackers, basically anything that you can use to just soothe your stomach is going to help greatly. I could barely eat through my first trimester, so I was constantly keeping saltines and ginger ales on hand, sometimes right by my bed, because that would help me a lot. The next thing, I don't know if anybody else has dealt with this, but I had extremely bad constipation during the first trimester, to the point where if I didn't take this next thing, I would not go to the bathroom, like at all. Magnesium citrate is actually the same thing that's used in like laxative type medicines, but it's just the magnesium part of it. I still take this because it's the only thing that's been keeping me regular through this pregnancy. It's the only thing that's allowed me to go to the bathroom. So if you're feeling constipated, uncomfortable, start taking magnesium citrate along with your prenatal, and it helps a ton. I guarantee it helps a ton. The next thing that was extremely helpful for me is Unisom. So one of the things that they tell you to do for your morning sickness is take Unisom and a vitamin B6. I found that the Unisom on its own was actually very helpful, but I think that's because my prenatal also had B6 in it. But the Unisom is actually sleeping medicine, so you're going to take it at night, unless you're able to sleep during the day. But you're going to take it at night, and not only does it help you sleep, but it's safe for the baby, and you also wake up with a little bit less nausea in the morning. It just kind of helps to calm everything down. Before I even got pregnant, I had very bad car sickness. So I wouldn't throw up in the car, but I would just feel nauseous. And then when I first got pregnant, cars made it all worse. So another thing that I would recommend here is having a vomit bag for your car. Now, I've linked one below that's really helpful. I obviously don't have any on hand to show you, but I've linked one below that's really helpful, and it'll keep everything in place until you can get to a place to throw it out. When I first got pregnant, I was extremely bloated, and I felt the need to switch to maternity clothes right away. My leggings felt too tight. I didn't want to touch jeans at all, and I decided to just go ahead and get some maternity leggings, some soft, comfy maternity leggings, and they were kind of big on me, but they helped so much. Nobody wants to feel tight, restricting clothing when they're bloated, so get yourself the maternity leggings early. There's no harm in it. Nobody will even be able to tell you're wearing them. You'll feel it, and you'll feel much more comfortable than a tight pair of leggings on your stomach, especially if you're really bloated. The next thing you want to make sure you have is a headache cap. So when you're pregnant, you can't take medicines the way that you used to. You're allowed to take Tylenol, but you can't take ibuprofen or Excedrin or basically any of the things that really help with a headache. I had a headache that lasted me 3 weeks straight, and nothing that we were doing was helping. So I actually ended up purchasing this headache cap, and you stick it in the freezer and get it really nice and ice cold, and then you just put it on your head, and it covers your eyes. Whew, it's gonna mess up the hair. It covers your eyes, it covers your head, and it helps to relieve the headache. My headache was so bad that I was having trouble sleeping, and I would put this on and it actually would just relax me to the point where I could kind of doze off. I did this, a dark room, and Netflix. Netflix kind of saved me. I just turned on a TV show that I could just relax to and just laid there. So the first trimester is awful for some women, but you get through it. And then once you get through it and you look back on it, you're like, whew, that felt like it lasted forever, but it was actually so short. So hopefully this video will save you the trouble that I had to go through of asking a whole bunch of people and trying to get help from multiple different sources, and allow you to have a more calm, relaxing first trimester. Just remember, even if you are having all the symptoms and the nausea and the headache, you'll get through it. And it's the most amazing thing ever to get through that first trimester. Stay tuned, because once I hit the end of my second trimester, I will be delivering all of my second trimester must-haves. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see any more mom content. Going through my pregnancy, being a stepmom, I would love to have you join me.